Once again, it's time for Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and today I have with me Molly Alexander, who is the Executive Director of Heavenly Urban Nature Gardens. How you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Just the name, Heavenly Urban Nature Gardens, it just reminds me of just a place to go when you're in the city and you can just enjoy and just take in nature. Is that what your organization is about?
You know, the heavenly aspect of this organization is something that we want to achieve to have with our client base. And yes, why not? Why not have heaven on earth? Actually, the urban farm concept and the urban garden is the cutting edge, innovative agriculture curve that is the current trend throughout the United States and all the major cities. So why not Washington, D.C.? Why not now? Why not us? We deserve it just as much as anyone else does to have healthy, wholesome, nutritious food that not only feed our bodies, but feed our minds. There are many ways that we can benefit from healthy food, from better test scores from our children, from alleviating major health concerns that many of our residents experience on a daily basis: diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. Our community experiences an unproportionate number of problems with health concerns, more so than most of the nation, specifically because of the demographic. With less resources, more people, and higher unemployment, higher health problems, there's a definite need. And I believe that this organization is serving that need. It's serving that need in a very, very real way that impacts from the youngest person to our senior citizens.
You know, it's interesting that information was so abundant that it I don't even have to ask my second question. The question was going to be, how is it that your organization differentiates itself? But the fact that you are concentrating on Ward 7 and 8, and the fact that there's a higher number of teenagers and that there are also elderly who need food, it tells me that you guys have figured this out and you're focused. Let's look at some of the statistics that people need to know and understand when it comes to having a garden and having a situation where you can have fresh food within your area, where you live.
When we go into a building and we decide that we want to set up an educational program, we're talking about the youth. We're talking about the individual as a person, self-esteem building, teaching them to love themselves, making them feel that they have a difference, they have a voice. We can take them from a place of pain to a place of joy, to a place of heaven, to a place of where we right the wrongs that have been done to them. But first, it starts within. So we teach them how to start changing within themselves. First of all, to say, I am a scientist. I am a mathematician. I am an agriculturist. I'm a doctor. I'm a leader. And when we teach our children to say out of their own mouths the thing that they want to have, the success that they desire to see, then it becomes real for them. It becomes part of who they are. And when it becomes part of who they are, they have an understanding of their purpose. Their purpose affects who they are, and they're not afraid to speak up, to have a voice, to become vocal in their community. And as the youth get energized, the parents get energized, the families get energized, and in turn, the whole entire community is affected by these young lives and these young voices. So yes, that's the difference. The difference is the holistic approach. and starting with the residents themselves, being the advocates for their own people.
That's really comprehensive because what you're looking at is you're looking at not only the food, but it's almost like you are what you eat. If you eat healthy, then you can think healthy, you can act healthy, you can take care of yourself because when you eat healthy and the body is in good shape, it rejuvenates itself, it prepares itself, it does all the things it needs to make it successfully navigate through this biosphere we call Earth. So it sounds like you're using food as a catalyst for other things.
Yes, we are using food as a catalyst for other things. So teaching people where food comes from, showing them how to grow food, showing them the connection that we have with our food, how that affects nature, how it all intertwines, gives us a sense of understanding of a total picture of humankind. That it's just not about going to a grocery store and finding an apple, but that apple had a process. A seed had to be planted first. The seed had to be watered. It had to be nurtured. It had to be sowed on ground that was able to nurture it. So the soil is important. All the environmental elements that go into producing healthy, robust, harvested fruit is a process. And when we show our people how that happens physically, they can internalize that mentally, spiritually. And yes, it does have an impact on their thinking about the process of that happening in their own lives. Planting a good seed into a young person's life by teaching that person and saying to that person, I love myself. My life matters. I can make a difference. I am someone. That gives them a seed that's like a voice, and it takes form as it continues to grow. And as they continue to feed more nutrients into that by the parents getting involved, the teachers getting involved, the structure in the city getting involved, community organizations all coming together creates this nurturing, beautiful environment where these young people can grow up and they can begin to have a voice. That's what changes communities. That's what makes the impact for all of us. And yes, health is definitely a benefit, but it's much more than that.
Thank you for coming on Impact Moment. We've really had a good time talking with you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so glad that you've given me this opportunity to be a voice for my
Oh, it's
people.
our pleasure.
Thank
So,
you.
once again, for Impact Moment, we have had the opportunity to bring you a person who's with an organization that's doing great things for Washington, D.C. For Impact Moment, I'm Alvin Jones, right here for you on DCTV.